The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more into the breach do we go, dear friends. And, well, I'm going to call this the Little Lucy market. That's, if you remember Peanuts. Lucy would just put the football out there and get all Mr. Charlie Brown all just lathered up, ready to kick that ball. He'd run right up there to kick it, and she'd pull it away. He'd fall on his rear end. A huge dust cloud worthy of Linus. Or is it Linus or the other one? What was the stinky dirt guy? Linus, I think, played the piano. Can't remember the stinky dirty guy now. Pigpen, thank you, Pigpen. Anyway, a dust cloud worthy of Pigpen. There is an old chestnut in the market, and that is do not be short in quiet markets. And I think, at least to me, as we talked, there just weren't a lot of signals in the market. And it's very tough for me to see that the market, I'm not long or short the indexes. There's some sectors that can do better than others, but I just didn't see it. I've looked, do look at some 200 or 300 charts a day, and just didn't see it. Anyway, at the start of the show, we're actually flat on the S&P cash after being down about 9 points. Volumes coming in still not under, what was I going to call it? I'm going to call it 150 million shares shorter than we started the short yesterday. So down to 2350.72 on the S&P cash. Volume has shrunk once again today. The NASDAQ and the NYSE flat as we speak. We'll see how the rest of the world changes. When we look to commodity prices, oil is up about 1.5%. Metals, what are we up? 0.75%? No, not 0.75. 1/3% on gold, about 0.5% on silver. Platinum's up about 0.65, and copper's up about 44. A lot of discussions here, just I think in the last hour, about the highway bill that is working its way through the president and Congress, and looks rather substantial. Looks like we may find some ways to fund it before the tax bill comes out, but we shall see. Anyway, crude probably the biggest mover out here today in commodities, other than natural gas, which had a little shot at 4%. But it kind of does that every day, doesn't it? So what do we have out here? Well, I forgot to say, we come to you at this time almost every day. Nope, nothing. What else can you say? Anyway. There we go. Well, you didn't hear anything? I heard something straight on out. Well, I'll have to figure it out. Nothing. Didn't hear anything. Whatever. Okay, I heard it. Well, what else do we have going on today? Well, hopefully you'll hear the history. Yeah, it's going in. Hopefully it's going out. 17, okay. No history either. Huh. Well, I don't know why this thing has decided not to. Oh, I know why. I did this yesterday and no one said anything, and so I didn't do it. But there is a reason why. And I didn't think about it because here we go.
That it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
It is history repeating. On this day in 1968, just after 6 p.m., Martin Luther King is fatally shot while standing on the balcony outside his second-story room at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis. Civil rights leader was in Memphis to support a sanitation worker strike. On his way to dinner when a bullet struck him in the jaw and severed his spinal cord. King was pronounced dead after his arrival at Memphis Hospital. He was 39 years old. And, I see pictures of him in the video, and people looked a lot different. At 39, he looked awful old already. He looks like people look in the 50s. Now people, in their 50s kind of look like they're 40 when I was growing up. A lot of people, it just, guess it wasn't health care. People didn't take care of themselves, diets, no exercise. But I always think about that. I look at him and I go, he was 38 years old when that video was made. He looked a lot older. But, just a random thought out there. But the question when I saw this today was, a lot of people that grew up in the 60s want to relive their time in it. Are we not, are people trying to actually bring back the 60s with all the tumult and turmoil? Do we have Watergate Part 2? But was it the Russians? No, we found out the enemy was us, our own administration, going after individual citizens. Who would have thought? But, of course, everybody knows that total power brings total corruption. And it's always the same old story in history. It doesn't repeat itself exactly, but it does rhyme all these days later. I guess it's hard to remember. Was 1972 was Watergate? Well, got it all over again. And the market, I think, is getting to the where it's going to be just happy if nothing happens, I think. Anyway, not a lot going on in the markets other than that. We'll get right into charts. Why are my charts? There they are. They were slow today loading. I'm not exactly sure why. We'll look at some scans out here and see exactly what's going on in some of these today. If you have any questions, give me a call at 877-927-6648. Email me at path@tfnn.com. And, of course, what else can you do but put a message in the den on a day where we're flat. Flat as a pancake. I always like that Head East album, too. Yeah, I've thought that today when I saw the history. Everything is new again. Anyway, chorizo, TSO. I always think of the sausage from Italy. I think it's Italian sausage, isn't it? Chorizo? I was looking at this one in the newsletter this morning, wanted to see how volume came in. Energy back down, and this energy, is this the energy company or is this the... We'll take a look at it when we come back. I think I keep on mixing up these two, too, so I'll check them out. Yeah, petroleum company. The other one with a similar name is the retailer in England. I'll think about that. We'll be back.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Head east. Big St. Louis band. I saw them play just a few years ago, too. Always liked them. They had a lot of interesting songs. They had another one. Now I can't think of it. It was another big hit. But, man, the Midwest, they were kind of the local band. Them, Kansas, handful of other ones. There's never been any reason to think about me. Anyway, we will head a little less than east. Was looking at this one, Tereso, in the energy patch out here. Thought this one would come down, hopefully on lighter volume today. 79.10 was the January 13th low at 2.44 million shares. Today, 1.3 million shares. No real sign of a bottom in this one. You got about another 20 cents to break that low, but you came down with a little bit more juice on the 24th, and that's kind of what we're coming back into now. So you really need this thing probably to do a little consolidation. But energy off the top on this one from the February 28th high has been fairly benign. So, I don't know if you can say anything other than that. Netgear, the maker of a lot of equipment on my desktop, not only a modem, but also the router. What else do I have? I probably have a couple more routers in a box from them, too. Netgear, NTGR, the October 27th low, $48.35, 1.14 million shares. What do we have today? 200,000 shares. Again, I don't know if these things are going to bounce. If it did, it'll probably go back up to about $51. Not a lot of cash in it, probably some better positions. But without a lot of signals in this market, it's kind of tough to get too whipped up. I kind of think that this is a rather flat market until maybe tomorrow we'll finally get moving higher again. But, over the commercial, the S&P and the NASDAQ did turn positive on the day, as green as the Dells of Ireland. But not that. It's kind of like short cut grass because they're only up like half a point or even half a buck. Not much, but at least we're flat on the day compared to what we've had the last couple of days. Again, just not a lot of volume or push. I'll let you know when we hit 2 billion shares on the New York Consolidated Tape. It just just looks like it'll be another 15 minutes, and that just means another low volume day as we pushed lower. Netgear, as we said, watch this thing the next couple of days. We'll kind of check in on it, but it was kind of interesting. Even Groupon, the dog with fleas, might be making some kind of pattern out there of a bottom. This thing gapped up on the last earnings cycle on February 15th, did so on 83 million shares, had a wonderfully nice low volume retreat back here into this gap. Today we're just doing, 3.2 million shares compared to that 83 million share pop up. I haven't investigated this company lately. Some companies do turn around. I never thought much of them in the beginning. Maybe they figured out some more things, but Amazon once had gone from $200 to $6.50. So sometimes these fallen angels do give you an opportunity. But again, I would check out a lot more about that company and whether there's any chance out here. Some people talking about buyouts in the den today. PNRA. Panera, catching a lot of people asleep the last few days. And, you had some giant volume yesterday. I don't know what you can say today's much going on, but rumors, especially in markets that don't have a lot of volume, make it fairly easy to go squeeze people out. I don't know how true the rumors are, but kind of interesting. Big volume yesterday. A little bit of a retrace out here today. I just don't see the market that gives you an entry to short this thing, but that's just me. Tesla, another one, kind of some silly rumors out there. Somebody bought some shares. It's gapped up a couple of times. It's up to 304 today. We talked about it, I think, in the den during Tom's show. But this thing's got 7 or 8 days to cover. That means that if you just took the average volume of the last 30 days, it would take you 7 days just to get the shorts out of their position. And that's always, for a retail trader, one of the death knells, good way to flush a lot of money to money heaven. This one did break out. The last high at 287, February 14th, had 7.3 million shares. Yesterday we had 13.9 million shares. So caught a lot of people on the wrong side of this. Probably when you see this thing go down to 2 or 3 days to cover, you might have an opportunity to get in these things without getting fried. NVDA. Early in the morning, we were talking about this one, or I was putting some comments in the den about it. NVIDIA, some downgrades today, down on some volume. I haven't been very impressed with the rally here, but one of the things that happened was NVIDIA launched a new series of cards. Those cards were known as the 1080 series. I think I've got 2 of the 760 Ti's in this machine that I'm talking to you on. I'll probably upgrade when I upgrade a computer. Those cards had been selling for about $6.99 a piece. A lot of ads over the weekend starting to show that you could buy their card for $4.99, and even some other cards that are made using their chips, but by third-party manufacturers. I saw ads down on that on the Premier product down to $420 from Newegg. They're a big online. They're kind of the Amazon of computer gunk, motherboards, hard drives, everything. And you can still buy stuff from them without paying sales tax, which is a big deal if you're going to buy $1,000 worth of stuff to build a new computer. So I normally go through them for hard drives and accessories if I don't get it locally from Best Buy or something, if I don't need it right away. But anyway, I digress. I haven't been real big on these because NVIDIA had kind of a perfect storm in the last 6 months, and AMD has kind of come along for the ride. That is a lot of people buying these video cards, not for video, but for video compression, for building and doing things like on YouTube, compressing the videos, and they've also done it for machine learning. A lot of NVIDIA's big business in this ramp up into this $120 range was based on a lot of server farms buying these cards to do machine learning for companies like Amazon, Google, and Microsoft, Salesforce. Everybody's wanted to be in that sector. The price drop pretty much tells you that NVIDIA has gotten to the level that they satisfied that demand. And I don't think there's a lot of gas left in the tank. Don't think this thing falls apart instantly, but probably makes its way down to 75 here, I would imagine, this year.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And we're back. As I said, we're up 2 points in the NASDAQ, up a point in the S&P cash. Could we go back up and tag 10 points higher before the end of the day? Yeah, we could. I don't know if there's a lot in the tank. I think a lot of people are kind of waiting for the jobs numbers maybe on Friday. We could probably go up there. If we go up there slowly, then I think that's probably a better way to do it than just go ahead and pop today and keep running up to 2,400 for Friday's news. But, weirder things have happened. I was talking to somebody earlier today, and they were saying, well, so-and-so is short and someone else is long. And I said, you know what? I'm not long or short the indexes. They could it's kind of like a boat out there that's just sitting in dead wind. The breeze can go a little bit that way and then go the other way a minute later. We're just kind of in the doldrums out here, and I'd have to see some kind of big sign. We still don't even have 2 billion shares worth of business today in the New York. Oh, we just turned 2 billion shares on the New York Stock Exchange, and that's at the bottom of this hour. So haven't had any volume to the downside. Since we started coming up, the volume's been a little bit better, but it hasn't been a stampede to cover shorts out. Generally, if you're going to see some kind of big move, you kind of get the gap up and away tomorrow and catch a lot of the people that are still short sleeping. I think that would probably be a better scenario. But again, I am all in individual equities that I think will vastly outperform the indexes over the next weeks and months. What else do we have out here? Oh, we're going to take a look at IAG. We've got Jeff in Kissimmee. What is this? IAG, is that right? IAG, yeah. So we got IM Gold. You had a lot of energy off this first day, off the low. That was the big day of 20 million shares. It's kind of just gone sideways and consolidated except the last 2 days. Now, yesterday you had 4.6 million shares. Today you've got 3.4 million shares. Is it a short? No. Is it a long? And you got a light volume here too. I just don't see all the fury in this one. The dollar index, if you're looking for a push on that side, we're at $100.47. Not a lot there to really hang your hat on. The dollar actually starting to act a little bit more like, at least the dollar index, acting a little bit more as it should, like a 10-cent range here today. And I think eventually this dollar is going to calm down. And the question is, what does that do for gold? And let's take a quick look at gold prices here. $12.75.80, so we're up $3.80. I don't see a lot of up and I don't see a lot of down. If you're long at $1,200, I think you have to stay long. If you're thinking about putting on new positions here, I just don't see an edge in that. Gold being outperformed by crude today at 51.11. That's up 1 3/4. So I don't know. I just don't see much in there. I guess his question was, is this a good buy point here? I don't see how you can. If you ideally, this would come down to light volume at $3.36, and that's where you could buy this thing. But man, right here, I hate seeing 4 or 5 or 6 days of declining volume as this thing starts to move back up from the 28th. So I haven't looked at all the gold stocks today, but to me, maybe there's a chance that there's a faster horse out there than IAG. Maybe there's some other things I'm unaware of in that, but you really just haven't had any volume, and it's declined since and declined for a while. Maybe if volume comes in at the end of the day, I would change my mind, but I don't see anything here other than a low volume push in the last 4 or 5 days. What else do we have going on out here? CLS. Celestica. This one's one that's kind of had my my radar up for several days. It's tested its previous high, did so on much lighter volume, about 1/5, but still refuses to back down. Today we've got about 360,000 shares compared to the 2.66 million shares back on January 27th. So you would think that these things just are rolling over. But again, with the market, when I look at a lot of charts every day and I see these things just fall out of bed, that kind of tells me that the market's a little weak. When I see weak stocks continue to hold up, that tells me that, the theory that the market's weak probably doesn't hold as much water as a lot of bears would think it would. I'm not saying this chart makes me bullish. It just, until I start seeing a lot more of these stocks with light volume that are testing previous highs fail, that would probably be something that would get me a lot more bearish. Owens, Illinois, up testing its previous high March 1st, $20.74, 3.6 million shares. Got into it with less than half that yesterday, but again, up on light volume today, 778,000 shares into that 3.6 million share high, but it's not backing down. And do I like the energy off this last low? No. But again, these things, normally in a market that is ready to roll over, you see these things fall out of bed very quickly, and I have not seen that. We've talked about this stock for a few days. Like, as I said, I could see being long or short. There aren't a lot of good signals in the market, as I've said. Individual signals, there are a lot, but I'm staying away from the indexes at the moment. Shutterfly looks to me like one of the bigger ones. And again, I would have liked to seen some of these stocks roll over today, especially earlier in the day, if there was going to be a lot of weakness. This one is going back into this huge gap down that had monstrous volume. Got 111,000 shares against this huge gap down at 5.1 million shares. There's just really, even in some of these big dogs, no real sense that they want to be selling them. So, if these things start falling out of bed the next couple of days, I might be more persuaded to look at the downside in the market. But at this moment, don't think that there's a lot of upside or downside. And, the markets are flat. We talked about Groupon. Anything else out here? Any requests in the den? Don't know. Let's see. Check my email real quick. Tesla's just a story of massive short covering. And what else do we have? Let me check a couple of other emails out here. Well, when we come back, we'll look at the FANG stocks real quick and see if anything's happening in those. But again, market's flat as a pancake, like Head East, famous album, 1976, 1975. I'll have to look that up. Anyway, flat, volume very light, wimpy.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
If you're looking to unearth a new financial resource and diversify your financial portfolio, consider the new Market Safe Core Commodity CD from Everbank. This 5-year U.S. dollar-denominated CD gives you exposure to 4 equally weighted commodities: gold, copper, WTI oil, and sugar, in one powerful CD. With no pricing caps, you can potentially earn an unlimited upside payment at maturity if the commodities increase in value across semi-annual pricing dates. And should the opposite occur, your principal is 100% protected. Keep in mind, returns are based on CD performance. There's no annual percentage percentage yield or periodic rate of interest on this index CD. Don't miss out. With certain commodities on the rebound, now is the time to take advantage. The March 23rd funding deadline will be here before you know it. So call 1-855-750-4051 or visit everbank.com/TFNN for the CD's term sheet and other important product details and disclosures. Once more, that's 1-855-750-4051 or visit everbank.com/TFNN. This advertisement is sponsored content. Everbank is a member FDIC.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now, you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
And as we look at the day, we'll go through the fangs real quick. Apple up a little lighter volume, but again, a lot of volume in Apple is in the last 15, 20 minutes. So you kind of have to wait until the bell closes to actually take a look at that one. Facebook, even with all the action the last few days, not a lot going on here. Kind of a low volume doji for today. The two previous dojis out here ended up seeing another small leg up. Again, I wouldn't be buying any of these long, but just no real signal yet, no break of the trend line, nothing else out here that would say that it's time to pull the trigger. These things could go sideways for a long time. HES, which is the Hess Corporation, wanted to see how this bounce did work off the low, and it's up a little bit for a gas station. We see the $45.88 low from November 2nd come in. That did break this by a good 60, 70 cents and close back in the trading range the next day. But, energy was less off the 65.30. Could we just be in a bigger trading range? I would think so. OIL, this one has made itself up to its gap. Not a lot of volume out here today at 565. This is the crude oil return ETN. Anyway, you had some huge volume down. Doesn't seem to be bothering it. Volume's actually better than it has been yesterday. We'll probably even outdo Friday's volume. So we can see what's going on. I don't know if there's that much more upside to make everybody excited in crude. This is where the resistance will come in, though. We were talking about PBR last couple of days. This is up on probably a little bit better. Crude numbers. Volume, again, looks like it could come in about what it's been doing in the last 4 or 5 days. But again, up. And on a day when markets are flat, that's got to tell you something. Again, watch the last 20 minutes on a lot of these. We didn't look at Amazon, so we'll take a quick look at that. This thing continues to run. Volume is not all that unexciting compared to the last 3 days as this thing goes up. This could very easily have more volume. So again, 908.54 is the high today. Could outdo the volume of the 29th where you had 4.5 million shares. You got going on 4 million shares now. So, could you outdo yourself again by another 500,000 or 1 million shares by the end of the day? Certainly could. So it's not going to be declining volume on Amazon. Let's take a quick look at Microsoft. This thing's just kind of hanging out, not doing a lot. Let's see if there's anything else out here. Amazon. I think we looked at all of those. We'll go back to some of the ones in my list. We talked a couple of days ago about L Brands, which is the Victoria's Secrets. And, of course, no one likes retail and no one likes malls, and these guys are both with Victoria's Secrets. Kind of interesting to see that this thing did go sideways for about 5 days before it started failing on the 31st. Volume is just actually starting to pick up as it goes down. Didn't do anything close to the February 23rd blowout, but continues down with no sign of a floor in the market. To the IAT, what is this? The Regional Bank Fund came back to this gap up that kind of started the big move to 49.24. This came back and filled it a few days ago on March 27th. It's had a nice little bounce and kind of a pullback here. I just don't, if I was going to buy it, I would have bought it at the gap. But does it look horrible? Did we get a lot of volume yesterday? 400,000 shares today, 121,000 shares. I'd still want to buy it at $43 if it came back down there with light volume. Don't see a lot. CarMax, when we look at this one, finally got down to its gap. That gap goes back to the 21st of November. 1.7 million shares. You got 3.4 million shares. So, that's about all you can say about this. A lot of volume on declining car sales from Ford and Chevrolet. Actually, Gentile Motors. Pitney Bowes. Let's take a look at that one. We've been watching this one for the last couple of days because it has tested its high volume low of February 1st that had 30 million shares on it on February 27th with 1.75 million shares. So you knew you're going to get a bounce. How big is interesting. But again, if this could get down in the $12.50 range with light volume, once again, this thing may be bottoming out. Sears Holding, is that what we're looking at? Steel Dynamics. Interesting. A lot of talk on television today about a big spending bill for highway infrastructure. It doesn't seem to be doing a lot for Steel Dynamics today in that sector, up on 1 million shares. I still think that you could get a pullback in some of these back down to the $30 level. I just don't like the risk reward trying to buy it up here, but it looks good. I can't say that that this would be one that you would short at all. Again, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com. And I think that's about it. Let's take a look at the TLT today. You had kind of a big move yesterday. No follow-through back around here. This level is a gap that it's beating against, and that gap started on the 1st of March with 10 million shares to the downside. We're kind of trying to come back in there. Now, you had almost 13 million shares yesterday going back up into that gap. But, again, no follow-through today. Not a lot of volume either, just 4.3 million shares. The TLT, so kind of just sidewards consolidation from that gap down with heavy volume back on the 1st of March. So you're at the resistance level. If you were long this thing, I would have taken the cash and waited for this thing to break out and then pull back to 122 level to try buying it again. PetX, we talked about that one looking kind of interesting, especially that humans not involved. It is dog drugs. Kind of interesting out here. Very light volume. I like this one. It may be another week of this thing going sideways before I would pull the trigger on it. SKX, which is Skechers. We talked about this one filling its gap and being one of the better looking shorts out here. This has gone from $30 down to $26.05 today. You had your huge gap down on the 21st of July last year with 4.6 million shares. You came back up and basically filled what was left of that gap, which is about half of it. That's normally where you want to pull the trigger on stocks that are weak. This one, of course, in retail. So the poster child for getting beaten. $30 light volume back into heavy volume. It's back down. $24 looks like where I would, maybe $24.50 or $25 would be the time to get out of this one. It did have a small sign of strength, but I think $25 on this one would be where I would be out of that short if you did take it. We'll be back after the short timeout.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
Look at a few more of these that we've been looking at over the last few days, see if there's any more out about it. WHR, which is the Whirlpool company. Now, this is one that's breaking through a double gap. Again, not a lot of volume. This gap had 1.5 million shares. You're down on 700,000 shares. Again, even the January 27th low in here had 2.15 million shares. So, you know, is there any buy point out here in Whirlpool? I don't think so. But we can take a look in the future and see anything. But there are a few stocks out there that are breaking lows on light volume. I would like to have seen a lot of those really start to look a lot worse instead of a lot better if this market was headed lower. Anyway, we're off 1/4 of a point on the S&P and off 3/4 of a point on the NASDAQ. So just about nothing out here. Volume remains incredibly light. throughout the show, just 2.15. What do I got? Yeah, 2.15 billion shares. So incredibly light volume today. What else do we have? Yelp. Wanted to see how this thing was doing. It had actually tested its previous low on lighter volume. November 1st, $32, 3.7 million shares. Got into it with 2.5 million shares. Actually went 40 cents lower. Closed back inside the trading range. Has kind of been moving up. Again, one of the bigger dogs out here with fleas. And until I start seeing these things really break down at lows, start seeing a little accelerated volume, it's hard for me to get very excited about shorting this market. If we went up higher and started seeing a lot of stocks at highs kind of roll over again, that would be another thing that would get me kind of bearish. At this point, I'm kind of sanguine, and like I said, spending most of my time in individual equities that I think will vastly outperform the indexes for the coming weeks. So what else do we have today? And look at anything else. Got a last-minute request to look at IBM. Again, nothing happened in this one, just going sideways. If the market moves higher, I suspect you're going to go after the 182.97. The energy has been fairly nice and consistent. You've gone sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days now, right around this $175 level. And, you know, with Buffett behind it, I think more than likely you're going to at least see that 182.97 retest of the February 16th. They're in the right market. They're in the cloud. They're in machine learning. They've got Watson. You'd have to see some probably heavy-duty damage to the market to see this really go down. You've got your sign of strength out here that kind of sets the low with 12 million shares to the upside on the 20th of January. The high day on that was 170.64. If I was going to make a play for this, I would hope that it would get down to there and be on light volume, because I think you're kind of right. 170, 172 could see, you know, maybe a spike down intraday in that light volume. You could get a reversal back up to that 182. I just don't see enough gravy in a lot of these trades to have me pull the trigger on these either. So that's kind of it for today. A light volume day. Markets playing right around here on the unchanged for the indexes for the S&P and the NASDAQ. Volume just vapor up and vapor down. So I'm not going to say that there's a lot to push this market higher or lower. Just some stock that a lot of people are tending to be on the wrong side of. And other than that, not much to tell. All on the Western Front, but it won't be quiet in the next hour. We've got Tom O'Brien, and after him, Andy Heck. So when you can, not when you have to. We will see you tomorrow. Same bat channel.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.